Those moments where we wander, wonder, doubt. The journey doesn't stop, but the progress does. It can be lonely, painful. Sometimes we try to stare it down, as if we could somehow will it to go away. Or we think we can go toe to toe and come out the other side, unscathed. We often forget just how small we are. The truth is, storms are inevitable. But when they appear, we have a protector, a savior who knows a thing or two about calming storms, a God who is a stronghold in times of trouble. In our weakness, He is strong. In our fear, He is courage. In our desperation, He is peace. Yes, storms are inevitable, but our God is invincible.
Hey, everyone. I am here. This is Coach Linda, and this is 100 Days of Purpose. And today we're going to talk about how do I know? How do I know that I'm making the changes that I need to make in my life, that I'm doing the things that I need to do, purpose, strategically, intentionally, and on purpose? How do I know that I'm living my best life? How do I know that I'm presenting to others is what I'm supposed to be presenting? And so, how will I know if I am blocking my own success? How will I know if I am in my own failure? And then, how do I identify what that blockage is? How do I identify what things need to change so that I can start to move forward? And so, the homework, let me start there. The homework is, once we go through this and once we talk about this a little bit today, the homework is, I want you to find what areas of your life can you see blockage in? What areas of your life do you see that you are actually stopping yourself, not other people? Because we can't control what other people do. We can't control what other people think. We can't control what other people say. But what we can control is all of this, right? We can control what we say. We can control what we think. We can control what we do. We can control how we are presented to the world, how we represent ourselves to the world. That we can control. And people are going to think what they're going to think. They're going to say what they're going to say, and they're going to do what they're going to do. but that's not my business. One of my favorite sayings since I was a little child is mine is not to wonder why, mine is just to do or die. Right. So I'm not going to wonder why people do what they do. I'm not going to wonder why people say what they say. I'm not going to wonder why, because we can, even in that, we can cause blockage because now I'm trying to please other people as opposed to pleasing the one who matters the most. And we find that when we ask ourselves what things are important in our lives, they're not things at all, right? And so, how do you identify when you are blocking yourself? How do you identify a blockage in your life? Well, number one is what are you thinking about? When you say that you want to accomplish something and you say you want to do something, are you thinking, well, nobody's going to listen to me, nobody is, looking for me, I don't have a big name, I'm not like that person, I'm not like that person, I don't have a magnetic personality, people don't like me, people, what is it that you're saying? What is it that you're saying to yourself when you want to do something? What stops you from doing it? That's a blockage. Well, indeed, that's simple, but oh, it is. It's very simple. When you think about what you're thinking on, what you're pondering on, what's consuming your mind, what's consuming your heart, do you allow fear to enter in at every angle? Because there are uncertain things, right? There are taking a risk is a part of life. We take risk on love. We take risk on getting new jobs, on promotions, or going to school. Everything is a risk. I mean, when you think about it, there are no real guarantees in life. You're not guaranteed anything. Even if you come from a well-to-do family, you're still not guaranteed that you're going to be like your family. We all know someone who comes from good upbringing and good breeding, and they are messed up, mixed up. You're like, how did you get from there to there? So nothing's guaranteed in life. You've got to fight for your right to party and to have the things that you want to have. Nothing is certain. And so what blockages do you have in your life? What blockage do you have in your life that's keeping you from moving forward? Maybe it's the fact that you never thought of doing something, right? That can be a blockage. I have a friend who said, it was prophesied to her. And for those of you that are not familiar with prophecy, prophecy is when a person hears from God and they speak. And prophecy can be foretelling or it can be forthtelling. It could be something that's going to happen if you do XYZ, or it can be this is what's happening right now, and this is what's going to happen if you continue down this road, right? It could be a warning or it could be a pat on the back. It could be, prophecy takes all forms. And so this prophecy that she received was foretelling. It was telling her something about her future, something that had not occurred. She was going down a path that, it was a good path. It wasn't a bad path. It was a good path. And she was doing what she does. She never thought about going down this other path. But God had a plan for her life. And so when it came up, she was like, oh no, you missed it, boo. You missed it. That ain't at all. But now she is living that truth. Now she is walking in that and she's successful. And yes, it has its ups and downs and its ins and its outs. And sometimes she wants to pull out her hair, but she is doing the thing that she's supposed to be doing. And when she's in the vein that she's supposed to be in, and because she is there, other opportunities, other things are opening up to her. So her blockage at first was, that's something I never thought of. And I didn't really see myself doing that. So I wasn't trying to do it. I was trying to continue to go where I was comfortable. And many of you are like that. It's not a bad change. It's not a you're doing the wrong thing. Can you stop before you blow up? And I'm not talking about blow up in a good way. It's not that, right? You're doing okay, and you might be getting accolades and awards and all kinds of recognition in this vein that you are in. She was successful going down the way she was going. She didn't have to change a thing. But when you know to do something and you don't do it, that starts to build a void in your life. And so everything over here becomes dull. Everything over here that was good to you yesterday before you this thing came about, you're now looking at it saying, okay, well, maybe I should move it over here. Maybe you know how you rearrange your furniture because you want something different, but you don't want to go out and buy new furniture. So you keep moving it around. And every day you're moving the chair or moving the picture, or you're doing something to make something come alive again to you, to make something refresh to you. Well, the very thing that you're blocking out is called a blockage. It's called something that is stopping your success. Y'all remember I think it's the Beatles. I think it was the Beatles, and they sang "To everything turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn." Right? Remember that song? Well, that song, them words are in the Bible, right? Which says in Ecclesiastes that there's a season and a time for everything. There's nothing new under the sun. A time to live, a time to die, a time to mourn, a time to laugh, a time to hug, a time to refrain from hugging. There's a season for everything in your life. We just went through a pandemic where it was a season of separation. It was a season of rethink. It was a season of rebuild. It was a season of let's see if we can do things a little bit different, because things aren't going to be the same after this. So we got to find new ways of living our lives. We got to find new ways of connecting with one another. And unfortunately, we had a lot of separation through death. Physical death, emotional death, mental death, financial death. There was a lot of death and finality. And that can be scary. That can be like, oh, well, maybe I need to hold on to what I got. I got to hold on to it just a little bit more. So really now is not the time for me to be making any new changes. Now is not the time for me to do anything different. Now is not the time. And that's blockage. That's blockage. And I'm saying it in a different way than maybe most people would say it, because I want you to see that blockage doesn't have to be this big obstacle, this big problem, this big thing in your way, right? It could be as simple as I didn't think of that. It could be as simple as I need to make a change, but I'm afraid to make a change. It could be as simple as every day of my life I loved the color red, and now all of a sudden I like purple. I don't know what that's all about. So I'm just not going to acknowledge it. It could be simple as someone says something to you and it brings back memories. It can be as big as I don't have the money to make the type of change that I want to make. So why even try? I don't have the education to start the business, to do the things that I want to do. I don't have the resources. I don't have the opportunities to meet new people. I don't have the opportunities to mingle. I don't have, it could be big like that also. But you've got to know how to identify it. And the way you identify it is you see what's happening in your life. And most times when it's chaotic in our lives, it's because something is trying to get through and you're blocking it. You're doing that Wonder Woman, she have those things to block the bullets. That's what you're doing. And you're missing out that no, this isn't a bad thing. Just because it didn't come in a package that you know or a package that you like or come from someone you like. Because, see, that's the big one. People don't like you. People don't listen to you. People, you don't like certain people. I don't like her because, when I was back in the day when we was hanging, she said this and she did this. She took my man. She did whatever. Woo da woo da woo da woo da woo. So I don't deal with her. I don't mess with her. Right? I don't mess with him because he stole my money. I gave him some money and he went and did said he was gonna pay me back. He never paid me back, so I'm cool. I'm done with that. I don't feel no kind of way. I'm just done, right? And so then when that person comes with an idea, an opportunity, you don't want it. You don't see it because it comes in a package you don't want. It comes in a way or through someone that you're not dealing with. I remember a stranger on the street, and I'm closing with this. There was a homeless guy, and I was working, a regular 9 to 5 job. I was about 18. And this homeless guy, San Francisco, they don't care. They was like, look, he was like, I don't want your money. I just want something to eat. And I was like, okay, you want something to eat? You said you don't want my money? So there's a McDonald's, a couple of blocks up. I'll take you to McDonald's, buy you what you want, and we'll be good, right? So I took him to McDonald's, bought him what he wanted, and we was good. I got on BART, went home. The next day, that same guy outside my job, he was like, hey, you was the one that bought me that food yesterday, right? I was like, yeah, I sure did. He was like, well, thank you. He's like, you think you can do it again today? Dude, you're not my son, right? I don't have to take care of you, but I'm like, if you're hungry, come on. Every day he was there asking for food. And at some point, I don't know when it happened, but at some point I felt obligated that this, I'm like, he's homeless and he just wants a meal. And back then, McDonald's meals were, that they went to that season where everything was really, really cheap, right? So it was like it was costing me what, $3 to get him something to eat. Okay. And he got the same meal every day. I want to say it was I think it was the number 3, the quarter pounder and cheese, or the double quarter pounder, or something like that. He got that same meal every single day. I could be wrong, but I think that's the meal. He didn't get the Big Mac. I know that. Um, so he would get the meal, and I would go my way. It got to the point where I felt obligated. So if I didn't have money, I was like, "Hey, Karen, hey, so and so, one of my coworkers. I know dude's gonna be down. You got $5. I can get him his movie." They like, girl, you ain't got to feed him, but here's your $5. Just pay me back on payday. And you know, it was weeks, a few months, I believe, that we went through this. And every day, Monday through Friday, I fed him after work. One day he wasn't there. And I was kind of ticked. I was like, oh, no, he didn't not show up. No, he didn't stand me up. So I'm walking down the path because the walk from my job to McDonald's was the same walk from my job to the bar, right? Because actually McDonald's was right outside of Bart. And so I'm walking to Bart, kind of ticked because where is he? He's supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be feeding him right now. How dare he? And I hear some noise behind me. And I got this eerie feeling. So I started walking a little faster, you know. And it wasn't that it was pitch black or nighttime or anything like that. It was dusk, it was that the seasons were changing, but it wasn't dark and it wasn't light, right? And so I'm walking and I'm walking a little faster and walking a little faster. And I'm like, okay, God, I need you to, whoever that is, I need you to, because if they attack me, I'm going to kill them. I already know. There ain't gonna be no remorse coming from me because they tried to attack me. I don't know if they trying to rape me, if they trying to rob me, but whatever they got, whatever their intentions is bad, and I'm gonna take them out. That's it, and that's all. Because that's all I know is protect myself at all costs. And so I'm thinking about what I got that I can use. Da, 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 da. I'm putting my purse a little closer to me. I'm doing all the things, being aware of everything, and there's no hardly anyone else on the street. And all of a sudden I hear, "That's my friend," because he had a shopping cart. So my helping him every day, that most people would say, why are you doing that? Stop doing it. You keep, it's like a stray dog. You feed a dog, he's going to keep coming back. You feed the cat, she's going to keep coming back. They kept telling me all of these scenarios. You're enabling him, da, 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 whatever, whatever. He probably got 5 people feeding him. So I was going through all of that. People were saying all of that to me. One of my bosses is like, you want me to go down there and tell him to stop? Because he shouldn't be bothering you. You're a woman and that's unsaved. He may try to turn on you. He may have a knife. He may have a gun, da, da, da. But I can tell him to stop. All of that, for some reason, I felt obligated to feed. I felt obligated to do. And to this day, I truly believe that my kindness to him was repaid in him saving my life. Because I was ready to go all there with whoever was trying to attack me. I never saw the person that tried to attack me. All I know is that my homeless friend that I had been feeding for months showed up just in the nick of time. And so that day, I was like, you know what? We gonna get you. You want the normal? You want some ice cream too? You want a sundae? What? I'm gonna be here. You eat to your little heart's content. Sometimes we are blocked and we don't even know it. Sometimes goodness is trying to get to us, but it comes in a form we don't recognize. Now, had I been the Linda of yesteryear, because I was that Linda, I would have been rude to him. I would have told him something, and that day would have still come, and he wouldn't have been there. But for some reason, I didn't do my normal flip off. For some reason, I fed him. For some reason, I kept feeding him. And I truly believe it was because down the road, this was going to occur and he was going to be there. And if I hadn't been feeding him, if we hadn't built that relationship, he may or may not have done what he did. He definitely wouldn't have called me his friend. So what's blocking you? What's stopping you from being your best self? That's also the moment I realized I didn't have to be that bitter Linda. I didn't have to be that angry Linda. And I realized what my sixth grade teacher told me: you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. I was my worst enemy. I was blocking myself. It didn't matter what had happened to me in the past. It didn't matter who said what about me. It didn't matter how they treated me. All of that stuff that I was blaming it on, that didn't matter. It was my own blockage, my own thoughts, my own actions, my own words, my own choices. And that day, I identified one. And I was able to flip the script. And that started me on my road to redemption. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. Hopefully you got something out of this. Your homework is, what areas of your life can you see the blockage of what you desire? Journal about it, talk about it, come back and let me know. You don't want to do it public in the comments, inbox me. If you want to get more resources or a free consultation, go to destinedtobeyou.com. And I will see you on the other side, because you are a person of purpose and there is a plan, and it's for your success, not your failure. You guys have a blessed day. Be encouraged, be prosperous, and remember, you weren't made to survive. You were made to thrive. And as I always say, I'm Coach Linda, and I'm out.